Good evening. I'm Claire McCormick. AM 560 CFOS is switching off for good on the AM dial this evening as it completes its move to 89.3 CFOS-FM. Owen Sound's oldest radio station first took to the airwaves in March of 1940. Back when Doris Day, Glenn Miller, and Bing Crosby were the artists of the day, CFOS began operating on March 1st of that year. 2025 marks the station's 85th year. When CFOS first opened, it was located in the Kilbourne building, which is now the basement of Pizza Pizza, in the area of 2nd Avenue East and 9th Street East in downtown Owen Sound. Not far from its current location, which it moved to in 1949, across the street from the Roxy Theatre. It was first owned by Howard Fleming of the Owen Sound Sun-Times, and he and Charles McTavish got the station up and running with a staff of about 7 people. Its first manager was Ralph Snellgrove, and Bill Hawkins, who would later own the station, was also on the staff at the start. In its early years, CFOS wasn't on the air all day. It was on in the morning, and then later in the day, it signed off at 9 p.m. with the national anthem and God Save the Queen. Now in 24-hour operations, the station's current owner, Douglas Caldwell, bought 100% of CFOS in October of 1985, and what was then Gray and Bruce Broadcasting Co. was renamed Bayshore Broadcasting. The company has grown to include 9 stations from Goderich to Gravenhurst, all owned by Caldwell. Former announcer John Christie says over the years, some of the best-known broadcasters in Canada and the United States cut their teeth at CFOS, including Heather Hiscox at BBC, Janice Mackey-Frayer at CTV, Cheryl Hickey of the Old Entertainment Tonight, and John Roberts of Fox News. Christie says there are a couple of contributing factors to 560 CFOS's ability to enjoy 85 years of success on the AM wave.
I think the most important ingredient in a radio station has to be its people. And that applies to the listener, without whom the last 85 years would not have been possible. Dedicated people, past and present, who put the station on the air with flair.
With a focus on Owen Sound and Grey Bruce for decades, CFOS has worked hard to be your community station. It teamed up with the Owen Sound Sun-Times for its Christmas Fund charity broadcast, and now it has a Christmas food drive, aiming to give back to the community that has helped it become the heritage station it is today. CFOS continues on the FM dial at 89.3 CFOS-FM, with the same voices you've been listening to on the AM dial. It is Grey Bruce first, with more Owen Sound attack games than ever, and programs like the Open Line that put you, the listener, and the community on the air. We hope you'll continue to join us on the new 89.3 CFOS-FM. For the final time on AM 560 CFOS, I'm Claire McCormick.
I'm Matt Herman. Follow us to 89.3 CFOS-FM for live broadcast all for your Nathan Hubert reporting for 560 AM. I'm Claire General wonderful enterprise, an AM radio that has been generated. Congratulations to what I mean. Former and current staff, advertisers, sponsor partners with which we remain inspired support. And finally, our listeners understand
delivers the new 89.3 CFOS-FM, serving the same community, but just in a different way. I am honored to have been the morning man of 560 CFOS, and I hope you will tune in to 89.3, the new CFOS-FM, for more great entertainment, more information, and more fun. Thank you for listening.
Hey there, it's Hillary. I know for a lot of people, saying goodbye to the AM signal feels like saying goodbye to an old friend, a friend that's been there with us through so many phases of our lives. That breakup, maybe the year you got married, maybe you had your children. The best part is that with this change, CFOS can continue to be there, keeping you entertained and informed and part of your community. Thanks for listening with us to 89.3 new CFOS. And I hope we'll be part of this community for many years to come.
While 560 AM is signing off, you can still hear your favorite announcers and shows at our new home, 89.3 CFOS-FM, putting great news first.
You can also listen online at 893cfos.ca.
Or download the Radio Player Canada app and search for CFOS.
Plus, you can ask your smart speaker to play CFOS.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
March 1st, 1940. The world is gripped in the clutches of World War II. And among the headlines of the day in the Owen Sound Sun-Times, the place to My adult life began when I landed an announcing job the next spring. The problem is, I was 19, and the station itself was then 21. To me, it seemed like all the important stuff had already happened. Nothing could top the tales we heard from the likes of Ron Ray, Ed Smith, John Gaynor, Matt McKenzie, and Lawrence Phillips. And when Bill Hawkins punctuated them with a belly laugh you could hear through the whole station, he knew nothing that funny was ever likely to happen again. It was certainly a unique privilege to work over 50 years under one roof. There were really three different companies, and something of each of them contributed to the corporate culture here. I don't know who mentored Bill Hawkins, somebody, because he himself was a consummate mentor. He believed that broadcasting is over-the-air publishing, and he was the source of the strong journalistic bent at CFOS. When the CFOS studio building at 279 Street East was under construction in the fall of 1948, a sign announced the project as the future home of CFOS AM and FM. It was Ralph Snellgrove's family who actually brought Bill Hawkins and Douglas Caldwell together. Doug's forte, of course, was marketing, and his mentoring provided the impetus for the rapid expansion of Bayshore Broadcasting, culminating in CFOS AM moving to the FM dial now. 560
Bombadita, 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 bombadita,
Thank you. Good night. and goodbye.
The sun will shine, families gather, and planting begins. It's what happens next that matters. A compassionate community, building local food security with the help of a company called the Commonwealth. When you need a partner that works no matter the weather, the Commonwealth Mutual Insurance Group. Insuring home.